Hello, everyone. We're back in black with two grown men in full beards.
Yep. Yeah, we all growing each other's facial hair, and
Except for Jay, which is
That's
getting
so
there.
embarrassing because my classmate in 5th grade has more facial hair than me.
Even though you're only 13, but still,
He's
you'll
like
get
13.
you'll get there. You'll get there.
yeah, I grew facial hair. I think at 13 too, but
I say about 14,
Yeah.
13, 14.
I don't
we ha- so we haven't podcasted in a while.
Number of
because-
weeks, of course.
Yeah, a number of weeks because of stuff that's been going on with us.
And since this is the New Year's Eve episode, we're just gonna do it differently, of course. Except we're just gonna chronologically go month by month and just discuss what we enjoyed from there.
And we'll discuss a little bit of what's been happening over the past couple weeks with TLC and the Raws that have been going on recently.
Leading up to the Royal Rumble, of course, and who's gonna win?
Yeah. But since, we're talking about Royal Rumble and Royal Rumble's coming up, we might as well talk about the Royal Rumble that happened, 25th this year.
Yes, what I was going for, I think I was going for Daniel Bryan.
We were all going for Daniel Bryan. We were all hoping at that time Roman Reigns wasn't going to get it and that they were going to go with something different. But of course, they went with Roman Reigns, and the crowd
booed the heck out of him.
Even with The Rock,
Couldn't save him.
Even with The Rock raising his hand and trying to get him over, he just couldn't do it.
That's one of The Rock's most regrettable moments in his entire career. Partially with Reigns as well.
And the power wasn't working when he went like that.
Power? I thought you were talking about
the power thing.
You mean electrical power?
No, like the pyro. They always do.
No, wait, that worked. It was towards the sign.
Yeah. Well, the only time that didn't work though was when Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble. He kept pointing at the sign, nothing happened.
Wait, 2009?
Yeah, when he won the Royal Rumble.
But also aside from that, we also had a great.
But the Royal Rumble itself though, the Royal Rumble pay-per-view was all right. I mean, it had a lot of tag team matches, but the only match of the night though
was the Triple Threat World Championship match.
Yeah, that was. I remember. I was actually trying to. I was trying to get my whole commenting practice, my WWE commenting or commentary practice, and I was actually calling the match while I was watching it for the first time, and oh my god, I was literally because thank God that was the match I practiced on, because that was just such a great match, and and I really got into the match.
Awesome. If there was an audio recording of it, I would totally love to hear it.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
And then later on, people resented Reigns a lot more and a lot more. Eventually, he beat Daniel Bryan to retain his spot at Fastlane.
Back in February. Then
we do the whole thing with Sting and Triple H and kind of all this build to WrestleMania 31.
Which is,
we were kind of I hope this is going to be a good show.
Even though the card was quite predictable for the most part.
Yeah, even though we kind of knew what was going to happen. We have the Hall of Fame this year. The Hall of Fame this year was pretty
good.
It was pretty good. It's just the way it was great. They finally got Macho Man in the Hall of Fame, which should have been happened earlier.
4 years ago.
Or earlier than that.
What about... sorry, you were saying?
Yeah, earlier than that, but other than that, it's fine. They got Kevin Nash in there, which, okay.
We broke fourth wall again.
They got Alundra Blaze in there. They got Rikishi in there.
Yeah. I hate Alundra Blaze.
They got Larry Zbyszko in there.
Well, yeah. What? It was better compared to last year's? Actually, no, last year's was better.
Last year's was definitely better when you had the Warrior in there. Oh, and definitely this year, too, they did the for the first time.
The Warrior Award.
Yeah, in honor of the Ultimate Warrior. They do the Conor the Crusher, which hands off to WWE for doing that. That was a classy move on their part for doing it. And definitely doing it in Ultimate Warrior's honor, who said in his speech that they should give an award for that.
Who do you think had the best speech of the night?
Who had the best speech?
I was gonna say you're probably gonna say Daniel Bryan. Or Shawn Michaels.
I don't know. It's really tough. But
was it a tie between?
But no, the only problem though I had with this Hall of Fame though was the booking, and that Kevin Nash was last.
When it should have been Macho Man.
It should have been Macho Man that was last. He's the most recognizable instead of Kevin Nash. But no, they have to end it with the Click. They got to end it with the Click.
If you're gonna do it like that, then you should have inducted Macho Man second. But that would have been a bad idea. And
no, they don't even put Macho Man second. I don't think.
Then the next night we head on to WrestleMania, which had a good opener with the tag team match, of course.
Well, I mean, the tag team. Well, it wasn't an opener; it was the kickoff.
Yeah, the kickoff should have been the opener.
Oh yeah, should
Could
at least.
the Andre Giant Memorial Battle Royal as well.
But they didn't even put the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal in the main event.
Yes,
Or not in the main event, but in the actual card. I'm sorry, and they had the wrong guy win.
Big Show when it should have been Mizdow or
Wait,
Ryback.
really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just oh my god, I was scared though to what would happen the rest of the night after that match.
That started the momentum of like, oh no, is this show going to turn out terrible after all?
They had the momentum in the tag match,
and then it just
then
went
they
down.
killed it. Then they brought it back up again with the ladder match in the opener,
Yeah,
which was pretty good.
Dan Brown became a World Grand Slam champion. Then we later got Triple H versus Sting.
Well, then the second match. Second match. I don't even remember. Oh, it was Orton and Rollins.
Only the ending was the best. The best part.
Yeah, the match was okay. It wasn't all too good, but the finish is what really did it.
Glorious.
Did you see Monday Night Raw? Fabulous Son met some of the wrestlers.
What?
Fabulous Son met some of.
I don't know who that is.
Well, a rapper, and his son is a WWE fan.
Okay.
Cool. And then they totally kill the momentum, which oh god, I'm gonna get angry again.
It still pisses you off.
Yes.
Sting versus Triple H.
I don't care what reason you have for Triple H going over on Sting. You're never gonna convince me that this was a good idea.
And even with Sting ultimately shaking Triple H's hand,
only
Triple H to badmouth him a few
only to
moments later.
bury him like at the show. Oh my god, I didn't even. I was about to leave the house. I didn't want to watch the show anymore.
We were at a friend's house when we saw it. Why would you want to leave? Well, oh wait, yeah, you had. Oh, of course, yeah, you had your car at the time. So,
but yeah, I wanted to leave because I was like, oh god, how could I watch the show now after what I just saw?
But
that just totally killed it.
Hopefully there was more left to get excited about. We got Undertaker versus Wyatt. Undertaker got his win back, even though it wasn't Brock Lesnar.
And Cena buries Rusev. Then the main event, which probably was the best booking out of.
What about the tag team? AJ Lee's last pay-per-view.
Last WrestleMania.
Nobody cared about that. So
that was AJ's last WrestleMania.
We're really talking about the good stuff, but that's not that important.
That's sad.
But we get to the best booking of that night. Was the main event, was Lesnar and Reigns for the championship.
Solid match.
Except it was kind of one-sided. Even
though it's realistic, though, for Brock Lesnar to kind of do that to Reigns.
But after you try to toughen Reigns up by him sparing Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then you have the one match, or the one part of that match that everybody talks about is Rollins cashing in.
Wait, we forgot to mention there was blood and
but I'm pretty sure by Brock.
Yeah, they had Brock busted open.
And Lesnar,
he always gets busted open like Undertaker match. He got busted open the first 5 minutes of the match.
And Lesnar coined the debut of Suplex City.
Mm-hmm. That's where Suplex City was born.
Exactly.
Really?
Yep. And then Rollins. And then the smart thing that they needed to do and they had to do.
Rollins comes out and cashes in to get the title, which everyone was getting excited about. Like the second Rollins music hits, we were like, "Why? Oh my, he's coming out!"
You were like, no, it's too early. It's too early. This is the middle of the match, and it's kind of cool too because it's the first time. And because it was definitely a history making, because the first time a Money in the Bank was cashed in at WrestleMania,
and the match didn't go on.
And the first time anyone has cashed in Money in the Bank during a match. during a match, not
Yeah.
after a match. Well, in the middle of a match.
But didn't
On
it
the-
like go on as when he first came out? Didn't it go on and then that's when it ended? Because I
No,
saw
that
No.
it
I saw
became.
I saw Seth Rollins on Brock's shoulders, and the next minute I see he won. It was photos next to it, but did it go on at when Seth Rollins came?
No.
Yeah.
Like when he was in the ring, like was he
Ron-
still wrestling them?
He just
Les-
he cashed it
Lesnar-
in. He cashed it in. Then they were like, he cashed in Money in the Bank. We're gonna make this a triple threat match, and they continued on. With
Yes, Lesnar had Rollins on his shoulders doing F5. Reigns speared. Rollins got
Rollins hit the curb stomp, which they won't show that. They won't show that part because the curb stomp is banned.
No, I'm sure they have
What?
to on the network.
No, they on the network they'll show it.
Yeah.
But if they highlight it on Raw,
Yeah, not gonna
They'll-
show it.
Wait,
No.
what happened? Why they ban it?
because
It causes too many injuries.
concussion issues.
That's why he had to do the pedigree.
Yeah, that's why they had to switch it to the pedigree.
Yes, and then what we talked about from Rollins finally cashing in, put out the bottom for a meme. Edge will be proud.
It was definitely something. It was definitely something memorable because you have Rollins cash in and win it, and you have for the first time a Money in the Bank cash in at a WrestleMania.
Yes.
What
But is that more memorable compared to no? Edge's was probably no. Wait, is that more memorable compared to Edge's cash in to win the world championship?
To me, I don't think so. Mostly because I was there. Mostly because I was there when Edge won.
But if you weren't there,
If I wasn't there, I mean, it probably would have been less memorable.
of course,
Then we get to the night. Then we get to the night after Raw.
a good run nonetheless.
Did you see the last?
Definitely
No, I didn't say that.
definitely probably the best Raw, if not the best Raw of the year.
Well, I don't even remember much. I don't even remember much that happened.
I remember. What I definitely remember is Brock Lesnar tearing everybody up.
Oh yeah, that was a great moment. Oh yeah, something else we forgot to mention. We were back in January. For the first time, Raw actually gets postponed during a snowstorm. We just had
Oh yeah.
interesting interviews.
Oh yeah, and that was a miracle for Vince in general, for Vince McMahon.
Why?
Because if they had Raw and they had Reigns come out, he'd be booed like crazy.
They actually showed they actually showed videos of the Royal Rumble, which was kind of a waste of.
No, they showed the
And he
match.
would've-
They showed the main event
Yeah.
and the Royal Rumble
And he would have been doomed. But they gave Reigns a chance to speak without anybody hacking his promo, without anybody trying to boo him or anything like that.
Where he had his own one-on-one interview before he met with Lesnar.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the interviews were interesting nonetheless, especially looking back to that moment. Oh, Lesnar comes in. Rollins, you're sitting in a chair.
Yeah. But that Raw, the night after WrestleMania, Rollins was supposed to face Lesnar, and Lesnar was supposed to get his rematch for the belt,
But
but Rollins was like, I'm a little jet lagged, so I'm gonna take the night off. And then Lesnar
Rex House
tears everybody up. He
gets suspended.
F5's Michael Cole, F5's the cameraman.
Aw.
and gets suspended.
Everything in that was just awesome.
How about let's talk about
And then you have debuts like Neville debuted. You had the Lucha Dragons debuted, which
Really?
they were a lot over.
Yes, and
WrestleMania the night after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
yeah, look at them
Oh.
now. They're nothing, not much actually.
Who the Lucha Dragon?
And
Lucha-
and Neville.
Yeah.
Neville
And-
changed the story.
Neville hasn't won a belt yet. Hasn't done anything, that much to get a lot over and to get a lot, recognized. All he's been,
Well,
all
he's
he's been
won
this
his biggest
year.
start of the year.
All he's been this year is the highlight guy.
Well,
Sorry,
people like
but
him.
that's.
Yeah, looks just like Evan Bourne,
Oh, and then you also get Sheamus's return, and he returns as a heel.
which we were excited
about
for until it
AJ's?
fell flat on its face.
Yeah.
Same old Sheamus.
And same old WWE booking.
Also, let's just say this in general. This was, of course, one of WWE's worst years ever because so many people got injured, like Cena, Orton, Cesaro.
Well, Cena didn't get hurt.
Well, okay. Well, he was out. Sting was injured as well.
John was awesome this Monday. I have to.
And
he was
another,
awesome.
and another number of guys as well that are not here right now that helps
Yeah.
make the show better.
And a lot, and also it's been bad because of the booking decisions. They have Barrett win King of the Ring, which was great, but they didn't follow up anything with that to make him that important as a King of the Ring winner.
Didn't he? They just slightly
They've had
took it off him.
they've had rivalries that mean nothing, which like Sheamus and Ziggler didn't care about that. They had Reigns and Wyatt. Why did we care about that? They had Ziggler and Tyler Breeze. Why do we care about that?
Well,
Just
because
meaningless
Ziggler,
rivalries.
Well, Ziggler, look, people like to compare Tyler Breeze to Ziggler all the time.
Yeah, but that wasn't the story that they told
I
there.
thought I thought that should have been a story, but yeah.
But anywho, well, since we're rolling around somewhere close to somewhat Mayish right now, might as well get this elephant out of the room right now. Why do you hate Avengers: Age of Ultron? I really like to know.
Really? We'll get to that later.
Later,
We're talking about WWE now.
but we're going through. Okay, fine. Wrestling, then we'll get to that later. Okay. Oh wait.
And definitely this was the year. This was the year where Cena buried two potential guys. He buried Rusev through WrestleMania. Rusev loses at Extreme Rules. Then he loses at Payback, and then he loses Lana. Then he starts losing matches,
and gets in a romantic relationship later.
And then you get Kevin Owens, who comes up, which we were all excited for.
Beat Johnson in his first match.
Yeah,
match.
Elimination Chamber, he beats Cena in his first match, and we were all excited. We were all like, "Yes, this is what we wanted." He gets over clean.
Barry City later.
But
LOL, Cena
but then they go right to Money in the Bank, and then I'm like, "Oh boy, well, it was nice knowing him." Because Cena wins, and then the next pay-per-view at Battleground.
Wait, does he lose the title? Or was that
eventually he loses the
NXT title.
Yeah, but we're gonna get to that when we talk about NXT for that year.
Yeah.
But then Owens faces Cena again at Battleground, and he loses again.
At least it wasn't a third beating.
And now look where Kevin Owens is.
No longer an Intercontinental Champion anymore.
I mean, they're kind of starting to build him up a little bit better now because now
attacked everybody.
Yeah, because now they're trying to make him a badass guy. They're trying to make him like legitimate now. He beat up Neville after he lost last week on Raw.
Beating to Brock Lesnar? No.
Well, that's what I'm hearing now. I'm hearing they're trying to build him up for Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yes, we're gonna get that fantasy match now.
But
it's not gonna be WrestleMania.
I think that's too soon, and just how they booked him, I don't think he's ready.
Plus, it's not. Yes, he's not.
Yes, he beat Cena in his first match, but that's about it.
Yes,
and the Intercontinental title. Since when does that mean anything to WWE?
Also, Kevin Owens, this isn't wrestling.
And since when has he done anything memorable with that belt?
Yes, and for them, even though I would still be excited to see that match, it's not like WrestleMania 20. Even though that match had a terrible outcome because of the crowd, but this isn't the second coming of Gold. It's not the right time to have the second coming of Goldberg versus Lesnar just yet.
Is he supposed to be coming back? I heard some articles.
Yes, there's rumors that or possibilities that WWE's trying to bring back Goldberg for this one match at WrestleMania 32.
Yeah, that's
We're even having a 6-month contract for him as well.
That's what I heard, but he's got he doesn't want anything to do with WWE as far as I know.
Well, we don't know. Well, that's just what we're hearing right now, but let's just see.
Unless money talks. I'm sure money will talk.
We'll give you $300,000 for WrestleMania.
Well, then
that's nothing.
That's nothing
for a WrestleMania.
300,000. That's a lot. That's a lot still. I'm sure you would take it if they offered it to you.
More like for WrestleMania though. I mean, for SummerSlam, yeah, but for WrestleMania, it should be.
That offers Cena millions of dollars compared to someone like a Kevin Owens. That's a good amount of change, and a good amount of cheese, I should say.
Yeah, but what else happened this year? Rollins' title reign. They really screwed this up. This could have been a whole lot better. You had him first. He rivals with Orton this year. That was like his first rival with the title. Then he rivals with Ambrose at Elimination Chamber. He loses the match by disqualification in that dusty finish. Then he beats Ambrose at Money in the Bank to keep the title. And then also at Money in the Bank, it started like we thought Roman Reigns was gonna win, but then they have Sheamus.
Wyatt. Oh wait, what? Yes.
Yeah, they have Wyatt interfere, and they
Terrible
do that.
finish. Wyatt starts another rivalry, and gone from there.
And we didn't care about that whole rivalry between Reigns and Wyatt
Yes.
for the rest of that. Yeah, but then back to Rollins, he retains against Ambrose at Money in the Bank. Then he feuds with Lesnar for Battleground.
Until Taker interfered, still retains.
Until we get probably the rivalry of the year, which that's the only rivalry that we really cared about.
Taker
was Lesnar and Taker. You have Taker cost Lesnar the match at Battleground. Then they fight on Raw the next night in that crazy
story.
In that crazy brawl that we were all crazy
I'll
for.
Kill you.
You're gonna have to. Oh, that whole thing was just great.
That was at SummerSlam. You're gonna have to.
No, he said that when they were brawling on Raw.
Okay, alright.
I remember it. Yeah. Then SummerSlam. They had it in Brooklyn.
We laughed it off in that one moment.
I hated that whole pay-per-view.
Really?
Cause Team Bad eliminated first.
I mean, okay, it wasn't all great, but still.
For what it was
Team Bad
worth.
got eliminated first. That was awful.
But speaking now to the Divas, you got the whole Divas Revolution, which
that was a lie.
No,
that was a
hold
lie.
up. The Divas Revolution. Okay, at the first
Was
part,
a
it was
lie.
kind of good. When they put Charlotte's champion, it got destroyed. But then they're building it up little by little as a regular Divas thing. Like, it's not a Divas Revolution anymore, but it's kind of like they took the Divas Revolution out and like put it as more as not a Divas Revolution, but like a regular Divas thing. They're just like they're giving them 2 matches on Raw. They try to give them a little more time on SmackDown.
Yeah, now
they give them main event superstars and everything. They get more.
Yeah, like their version of Divas Revolution was more matches for the Divas. That's it. That's it.
The Divas Revolution probably have to be more stories, like not having a random Divas match and not having a random Divas title match at whatever pay-per-view, like having a story to it. I feel like the stories now is PCB hate each other. Nikki Bella is off with Nikki Bella's like off an injury, and Team Bad, they're teasing, like they teased a couple months ago with Natalya. They teased like a breakup, but then now they're just like riding along like it never happened. They play Sasha's music now instead of Naomi's music, which I hate terribly.
So what can you do?
Right now Team Bad is like, I forget who they're going against. They partner with Paige, like Tribute to the Truth. They partnered up with Paige to take on Brie, Alicia, and the rest of them, it was okay match. Of course, Sasha got the victory. I think they're gonna probably make Team Bad break up. Tamina's probably gonna retire. She's like 40 now, or 30 something, 37, 38, and probably Naomi.
I don't think Tamina's gonna retire.
People call Natty old. Like Tamina's 38 and she has 2 children.
Natty doesn't have children.
No, she doesn't. Yeah, but
Don't say that.
She's gonna have children as soon as Tyson Kidd gets his little neck repaired.
He's already recovering right now. I'm sure he already got the surgery.
She's recovering.
But at first we were all excited about the whole Divas Revolution. They brought up Charlotte. They brought up Becky. They brought up Sasha, and but then they just put them into groups.
Okay, wait, hold up.
Into factions, and like it's like, what are they fighting for?
No,
nothing.
PCB was the total opposite. Team Bella, opposite, because why put somebody random with twins? But Team Bad, perfect. Well, that's just because that's my favorite team, but they're perfect. You have Sasha, the baddest diva. You have Naomi, amazing diva. You have Tamina, the most destructive diva. You have they're bad. That should describe bad. Beautiful and dangerous. Tamina is dangerous from anybody she's going to ring with. She's dominated. Naomi, she's really athletic, and she started learning from Sasha with her. She's getting more charismatic and more
charisma,
attitude. Yeah, and Sasha's she is getting more athletic, and she always had that mouth, but she always backed it up. So it's kind of they're learning from each other. And Tamina, I'm pretty sure she's teaching them how to snatch or whatever.
Snatch.
Unity.
But in the beginning it's like, what are they fighting for? Like,
who's the better team?
Yeah,
but it's like, but that's not even that much of a story. Like, why should we care about that?
Maybe if we were
that-
at Survivor Series, it would kind of matter.
But yeah. Anyways, we get to SummerSlam, and they make it 4 hours. They make it a 4-hour show
You guys can
just to
barely
make it.
do 3 hours. Like, come on.
Well, that's Raw.
They
But they
can
make
barely handle
but they
it.
make it a 4-hour show.
And for what it was worth, it was not too bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't all that bad, but it didn't feel that special. You got Cena, Rollins. They put the U.S. title belt on Rollins.
Wait, before we continue, don't you recall them saying SummerSlam? It's now 4 hours, or just with Undertaker versus Lesnar. It's too big for WrestleMania. What are you doing?
Exactly.
It's too big for WrestleMania.
Too big. You already had it at WrestleMania. How is it too big for
What
WrestleMania?
was the first match? Like how? Like,
And plus, it was just a regular match.
Yeah.
That was a WrestleMania match. That's not too big for WrestleMania. That is a WrestleMania match because they did it at WrestleMania. So Rollins goes over Cena in the title for title match, and
Because of Jon Stewart.
with the help of Jon Stewart, which
Still a great match, nonetheless.
wasn't all too great, to be honest.
Okay.
I kind of liked how, I don't know. They shouldn't have done this match. They shouldn't have done this match.
Wait, Rollins.
Because either way, Rollins is U.S. champion, WWE champion, but he just drops it to Cena, drops the U.S. title to Cena the next
month?
pay-per-view. So what was the point of all that?
That kind of says John Cena could beat Sting if he beats. I wonder how he beats Sting right after getting him into John. That's the thing.
I know.
It makes
This
Sting
is
look so weak. Just
I
by
know
losing
that.
somebody who's not
Yeah,
even
I know. And that was the
100%.
problem with this whole thing. And also then you get Taker and Lesnar, which was a pretty good match at SummerSlam.
Until we.
And then we get to that finish where Taker taps out, but the bell rings.
Yeah, I
But the
didn't.
referee's like, I didn't ring the bell.
Yeah.
And then you get the low blow.
Hell's Gate! Sticks
Low
the
blow.
finger
I
on
don't
it.
get that low blow.
And then it would have been fine. Like, you didn't have to do the whole Taker tapping out and him low blowing. You could have had the finish where Taker does the Hell's Gate and Brock Lesnar flips him off while in the Hell's Gate while he passes out.
I think they realized that at the last.
The controversial finish.
I think they realized they should have did that at the last moment. They couldn't. Probably when he was doing it, it was like, no way, Brock, don't. Undertaker, don't tap out. Just go with the finish.
Then we got.
Oh, and I totally forgot the tag team division this year. You got probably the tag team of the year, which should have been the tag team of the year at the Slammies. They should have won.
You mean the
was
New
the
Day?
freaking New Day?
Wait,
no.
who actually won
Cesaro
again?
and Tyson Kidd were a
Wait, who
great
actually
tag
won?
team before.
Wait, who actually won?
Yeah, but they
The
didn't
Usos.
last that long.
The
Wait, who
Usos
won? Who won?
weren't even here this year.
Yeah, the Usos won, and they were.
No!
I know. What the hell?
They
What
won
the
last
hell?
year. They won last year. They had their great moment, but come on, they weren't even here the whole entire year.
Probably-
Jay was injured. Jimmy was on commentary and main event.
Probably because.
And the New Day was carrying the tag team division this
Oh,
whole year.
yes.
Wait,
And they were
wait.
making Raw watchable.
Wait, probably because of they're the John Cena of the tag team division.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No, the New Day should have won this.
yes, complete.
You think about the New Day. They were booed in the beginning of the year. Then they turned heel, and they were actually
Got
like really
light.
good on the mic. They were actually like brought light to their characters.
Yeah, I don't understand
And they were-
that. I love the Usos, but they should.
And
they
they
don't deserve it.
and they made us like them like that.
was the Uso were the New Day nominated?
The New Day was nominated, but how did they not win that?
It was rigged. No.
It was rigged.
No,
It was
wait.
rigged.
No, wait. Since everyone is allowed to vote, probably all the little kids went for the Usos.
They don't have phones.
No.
Well, I can't lie. They probably don't
No.
have phones.
You got and then so the New Day carries the tag team titles. They lose it to the primetime players, what they shouldn't have done, but they managed to win it back at SummerSlam.
I forgot the primetime players actually had the titles.
Yeah. Then the night after SummerSlam, the Dudley Boys returned.
They beat the Dudley Boys like
Which
3 or
was
4
awesome.
times.
Yes.
They beat the Dudleys 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, and then the first night, I think at Night of Champions, they actually defended the titles against the Dudleys.
But then I think
But the Dudleys won.
disqualification.
Won by DQ. Then at Hell in a Cell, I believe, the New Day actually went over, but they went over dirty. They didn't go over
they
clean.
never go over
And
clean.
Reigns.
But at least they were put over by the Dudleys.
Reigns and White had a good, solid Hell in a Cell match, but Taker Lesnar stole the show.
Definitely. Yeah, and then we talked about at Night of Champions, like Rollins gets beat by Cena. Rollins gets beat by Cena, but he manages to
Well-
beat Sting in the
Because-
main event.
WWE says because he's old. No.
No, I hate that.
And not only
I
that,
hate
Rollins nearly kills him, which he shouldn't have done all those moves to Sting. Like he should have been
Sting
wrestling.
said- no,
He should have
Sting
been
said-
wrestling at Sting's level.
Just because.
No,
And he
Sting
kept
said-
powerbombing him. He kept powerbombing him
Yeah.
on the
To a turnbuckle.
That's what
turnbuckle.
it
Yeah.
was. No, Sting commented on that. He said it wasn't Seth Rollins' fault because Sting said when the powerbomb, that's what really got him the injury. He said that he was kind of spaced out. Like he wasn't really
there.
Yeah, he wasn't really there. He kind of spaced out, and he forgot to
Yeah.
tuck his shoulder and head in when he hit the turnbuckle. So that's why he
Mm.
tried to fight back. We see how he fell then, but still, I don't get it. He just had a competitive match with John Cena. John Cena whooped him, and then AA'd him like outside of the ring or whatever. And then Sting comes out fresh and still loses to Seth Rollins. Like they made him like mad weak.
Yeah, that's so bad. Then you have Kane come back after Seth Rollins dumps him earlier. Dumps him and J&J. They have that whole thing.
Right.
And
Who
then,
cares?
Right.
then he comes back as
J&J.
Demon Kane in the at Hell in a
That
Cell,
was
and
no
that was
demon.
And the only time he becomes
and that was
relevant
and that was pretty, and that wasn't even that good of a match.
and the only time he actually becomes
Two choke slam. No, what was it like? 2 choke slams, kick out, 1 pedigree, done.
One pedigree done.
that's terrible.
He's kicked out a pedigree. Well, I don't know, but
No, if it's Triple H versus Kane, then yeah, that's realistic, but not Rollins. And only-
Then after the match with Taker and Lesnar in Hell in a Cell, they put the Wyatts with Taker again. They had the whole Brothers of Destruction
That have a
versus
2-on-4
Wyatts.
tag team match when it should have been 4-on. When it should have been just 2-on. No,
They should've done the
2-on-2. No,
doubles.
it should have been
No, they
2-on-4.
do. No, they do. They did a 2-on-2. They just had 2 members of the Wyatt family take on
Wait,
Brothers of Destruction
It
at
should have been 2-on-4
at
instead.
Survivor
It
Series.
should have been 2-on-4 instead.
But I don't know what.
And
else
also,
to do.
some Kane actually became relevant.
Yeah, then
Oh my
Kane.
God, I forgot.
Then Kane went back to being Demon Kane.
no, that was no demon. 2012 Demon Kane was Demon Kane. If you remember back when he terrorized John Cena and Zack Ryder. This
You mean
Demon
2011 going to 2012?
Kane- Yeah, like like not WrestleMania, but like when
Before
after-
then.
Yeah, when he like did the whole Zack Ryder thing or whatever it was. I forgot.
Oh yeah. Then also at Hell in a Cell, you get the return of Alberto Del Rio.
Which people popped for, not hugely but popped for nonetheless.
And then he
Boom,
takes- and then
got Cena.
And then he takes the U.S. title from Cena.
And which Cena returned this week.
Yeah, man.
In green, not orange.
I actually like John Cena. He was really hype, like saying this. Did you see his like promo for the match? He was like,
Yeah.
"This is Big Jay-Z, and I'm back," and it was funny. It was really fun. Wait, I forgot how to do something.
Oh yeah, then Nikki's title reign, her whole title reign from 2015, and then she finally loses it at Night of Champions.
Finally,
Should have been a
What do you mean,
Raw. Should have
finally?
been a Raw. Should have been
I think
a
she
Raw.
should have held it for a year. 3-on-1, come on, 64 more days. She could have had it for a year.
Oh,
No.
and you beat CM Punk's
I
record
feel
too.
like-
No.
No, just like no. CM Punk had it for 400 some days.
No,
I feel like
434.
Yeah, 434. I feel like Nikki, all honest, I used to hate AJ when she was champion. I used to think, come on, somebody got to be there. But then when I saw Nikki's title reign, although she was dominant, she had, well, I can't remember if she had Brie because AJ had Tamina, but AJ was technically winning all her matches without Tamina. It was only a couple times Tamina actually interfered. With Brie, with Naomi, I was livid when Brie kicked Naomi in the face and Nikki won. I was like livid. I almost like.
Wait, that was last year.
This is why this cracked. This is why my phone cracked. Because I was livid. Yeah, I feel like AJ was better because, like, all the promos she dropped, how she terrorized the whole Divas division, not just one person.
Terrorizing.
She terrorized, just said, she played with Caitlyn, which I still hate because I love Caitlyn. She plays with everybody, the whole Total Divas. She just blankly destroyed them. But then Nikki comes, she once at a time terrorizes everybody. And they try to make it think, they try to basically,
Portray.
yeah, that's the word. Portray AJ Lee with her trying to terrorize the whole Divas division, with Divas Revolution. That didn't work. The Longest Running Divas Championship celebration. That was so similar with nobody showing up and the cake being thrown. It was similar, but then Charlotte. People wanted Charlotte to be Divas champion. I didn't know that. I thought they wanted Sasha, but before Sasha, they wanted Charlotte. Then Charlotte wins it, and everybody's like, no, he wants Sasha to be champion. So yeah.
That's because we thought they were gonna do something good with Charlotte, but
Nope.
hasn't
People
been
actually
that
want
good.
Naomi to be champion next year. I was like, finally, somebody's on Naomi.
I mean, she has. I mean, Charlotte definitely has the athletic ability, but she doesn't have the mic skills or the charisma.
Well, Naomi is more athletic than Naomi's more athletic than Charlotte.
Oh, that's your opinion.
That's not debatable at all. Only thing Charlotte does athletic is a split. Naomi does a split in mid-air. Come on.
No, that's not the only thing she does. Come on.
But half of Naomi's moves are athleticism. She's learned. She has athleticism. She has mic skills. She's not just learning charisma, but she had charisma back in like 2010. But they like cut that off, like all the colorful.
Well,
stuff
because
she
of
had.
NXT, of course.
Yeah, when she was at NXT season 3, I was just watching that and how she lost on her birthday. Though I was so sad. You was watching. You saw the last part, but
Caitlyn
is the NXT season 3 winner, and on Naomi's birthday, I felt so bad. What I was saying. Yeah, so Naomi just like got braids, like they're like colorful, not colorful, but like red or something. So she's starting to learn charisma and everything, of course, from Sasha Banks. But she has the full package now. But now I guess next year she'll want to do.
Who knows if they try and get? They
Will.
should try and get Team Bad over or get
They
her
are
over.
Well, in some places they're over because the whole Christmas thing they kind of like TLC. No, because I think TLC wasn't in Boston, and
TLC, yeah, I think that was in Boston.
that's why Sasha had her match. Royal Rumble's gonna be in
Orlando,
which is Naomi's hometown. So how about you give her a match? But they probably won't because they.
But yeah, like, and also we get to like some parts of the Intercontinental title. What's been going on with that this year? Barrett entered the year as Intercontinental Champion. Then you got
really
that. Yeah, I think so. I think Barrett entered
before he became the king.
Yeah. Then you got.
I'll be right back.
Then they put the title back on. Then they put the title on Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Then Bryan gets hurt. Then they have the title go on Ryback at Elimination Chamber. Which, okay, we were excited at first because this is Ryback's first title, and this was a chance for him to be really legitimized and to really have a good run with this belt.
But not.
But they didn't even. Yeah, but they treat it like as if it was any ordinary, like thing, like just how they usually do with this. And then they have him drop it to Kevin Owens, which I thought, okay, let's see where they go from here. Of course, they do nothing. And then you have at TLC this past month, they put the title on Dean Ambrose. Originally, I would be happy.
Oh wait, that's fine.
I mean, I would be happy for this, but at this point, why should I care? They're just gonna do the same thing with this Intercontinental belt. The Intercontinental belt. They're just gonna give them meaningless rivalries and nothing to really care about with this Intercontinental title.
My favorite 3 had to be Ryback. He did a great job. I feel like he actually deserved that title. Big E.
He does, but they didn't do that much with him with the belt.
Exactly. Like people when he first came, people thought he was gonna be nothing because those people who look really tough don't last that long just because they
have big muscles. No.
They get tired of people dominating. They just get tired of them dominating them. Then he has his first title, right?
Yeah, the Intercontinental was his first title.
Yeah, and what was that? 2014, 2015.
That was this year. He won it at Elimination Chamber.
He came in 2012. Like, come on, that was a big gap right there.
Well, what can you do?
Big E, I think he was Intercontinental Champion. He did a great job. Then he lost it to Kevin Owens, was it?
No, he lost it to Barrett.
Really?
Yeah, he lost it to Barrett.
Wow. And then Dolph Ziggler was one of my favorites. Too.
All right, but then this year you get to Survivor Series, and originally they were gonna do Rollins versus Reigns for the WWE title
until he got injured.
Until Rollins becomes another victim of injury this year. Yeah, and he tears his ACL. And then and it was actually exciting because we were like, oh wow, who are they gonna make WWE champ now?
And
they put a tournament in for Survivor Series instead.
Deadly Games.
Didn't they have Sheamus in the tournament?
Sheamus was not in the tournament, no.
It would have been funny.
No, he actually was.
Oh, wait. Yeah, he was, but he lost in the first round.
Of course they have to make him lose, but come on.
Because he has a plan B.
Look, it makes no sense. Why put him in a tournament? What if he wins a tournament, then he's going to pin himself and win the title again? Like that's just
Oh yeah. What is that? Oh yeah, 2 Money in the Bank cash-ins in the same year for the first time.
Nah,
Oh.
no, not for the first time.
Which,
There have been more
which
than
year?
one cash-ins in 1 year.
Wait, 2010.
Yeah, 2010. That's probably the most.
Yeah. Well,
Swagger, Miz, and Kane all cashed in.
Kane on the same night. Miz, that was
yeah,
on
that
Raw.
was so funny.
I
Yeah.
forgot which Raw it was, and then
And Swagger was the SmackDown after WrestleMania
SmackDown
that year. But yeah, back to Survivor Series. You got the tournament. Then you got Taker and Kane beating beating
the Wyatt
the
family.
Wyatt family. And then you got the Divas title match with Charlotte and Paige, where Paige talks crap about Charlotte's past brother that passed away, Reed.
That was awful.
Bringing that up, and that was just awful. Why they didn't need to go there. And the match itself that night was pretty awful.
I was playing darts, so don't ask me
I feel like Charlotte
happened.
should have attacked more of a wrestling match. Should have attacked Paige more than wrestle her, cause like that was like cutting deep. And I feel like she should have like beat her up more than actually wrestle her, cause she was wrestling her. Like I
Never
would've beat her
asked
up.
Flair
Yeah.
or the what.
But then finally, you get Survivor Series. You get to the end. Reigns ends up winning the belt, but then only to have Sheamus cash in and win the belt, which all of us obviously were not happy.
With ratings down, why would make the most irrelevant person in a world champion?
This is the year that WWE went to an all-time low,
They effed up.
but hopefully next year we finally get the development. They finally get the development they needed, so we can finally usher in a new era of WWE.
Hopefully, yeah. Then you get to the whole TLC thing, and we kind of already covered that. We already touched on that. You have Sheamus win at TLC, and then the next night Reigns wins the belt.
Stupid. That's just like what they did with Nikki and Charlotte. Let's make Nikki longest reigning Divas champion for 6 days, and then give it the shot at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's so stupid. So stupid. I mean, you could have had this whole thing like drawn out. You could have had at least, if you were gonna have him beat up Triple H at the pay-per-view, have him do that, but then have McMahon come out next night on Raw and say, "You face Sheamus for the world title at Royal Rumble, and if you lose, then you're fired." And then have Reigns win the title at the Royal Rumble. But no, they bum rushed it to the next night on Raw and have him win it on Raw.
Because it's because Philadelphia and the Philadelphia crowd didn't turn on him. So that's a good thing.
I know, but still, you could have done something to get him over. To still get him over and to still have the Philadelphia crowd go from disliking him to liking him just like that. You couldn't have just put the title on him like this.
What can you do?
Oh my god! I mean, I wanted Reigns to be champion, just not in that way. That was not the right way to do it.
Of course, there are always better ways to do stuff like this. But
And then they get to the whole League of Nations, like, oh my god.
we are the no, that's not that. It's more than one race of people.
But the only saving grace though this year was probably the New Day.
Yeah.
Because New Day were always entertaining on every Raw. That was the only reason why I wanted to watch Raw, was to see the New Day. And to see what they would do.
My favorite, probably this month was last month when Team Bad and New Day actually partnered up after weeks or months of Instagram videos and everything. How they were so entertaining.